Hey everybody, James Swank here with JUNK180, 707-536-0740. Check us out online at JUNK180.com. It is November 4th today, and it's been a little while since I've been able to make a video. October was an incredibly busy month. The amount of work we had took me away from a lot of the administrative tasks that I normally perform as a business owner, such as marketing. I try to usually get a couple weeks ahead on marketing. These videos have kind of fallen by the wayside. They just take so much time that, you know, if you're working 8, 10, 12 hours a day, junk removal, and even just one video, 3 to 4 hours, it's hard to find that time. Well, here it is, November. Halloween has passed. That was a unique experience. The elections are over, thank goodness. If you're Team Red or Team Blue, let's all just try to keep in mind that we're all Americans first, and let's try to keep that in mind. It looks like we're going to be in for a wild political ride over the coming months. Sounds like the election results are going to be contested, so let's just all remember we're Americans first. The ballots have already been cast. There's nothing any of us can do as citizens at this point. We have already spoken. It's just a matter of how they end up counting the votes. Okay, so like I said, October was by far the busiest month of the year so far. November, we are experiencing a slight slowdown. You know, it's not gangbusters. Instead of 8, 10, 12-hour days, we're working, you know, 5, 6, 8-hour days. And there's a couple points I want to bring up about the slow time. One is your people. If you are on your truck yourself and you just have you know, a couple guys you might call on when you need a helping hand, it's probably not going to affect you too much, this next part. But if you are a company like JUNK180 building to scale, you know, I have a couple of employees now, and my goal is to ensure those guys still get hours, regardless if there's work or not. So for instance, we had a slow day, like a half a day, like 2 days ago, where there was probably only 4 or 5 hours worth of work, but I didn't send them home. I had them on essentially standby. They were still getting paid, still on the clock. They ended up detailing the truck that they normally use, and lo and behold, towards the end of the day, a last minute call came in, and I was able to dispatch them out to go serve that client same day. So don't get over anxious on sending your guys home. Work is still out there. You just may not be booked up for a week or 2 weeks in advance at this point. And you want to keep your employees happy. So, you know, that one last minute job paid for their wages for the day. So that first 4 to 5 hours they worked essentially covered cost of business, a little bit of profit, and that last job of the day covered their wages. Perfect. And you know, I'll do that every day. I don't want my guys to feel like they need to go look for another job. I take care of them, take care of your employees, especially the good ones. If you have good employees, make sure they get hours. They need to survive the slow season just like you. And you need those guys when business starts picking back up. So today, for example, I had a confirmation on a hoarder house that I bid about 2 weeks ago. They accepted the bid and they scheduled a start date. I have the employees to do it. They're happy working here. I pay them well, and I make sure that they still get hours even when work is slow. So that's point one. take care of your guys or girls. Take care of your employees. I'll say that. I'm from California. I should know better. Take care of your employees. Number two, when it's slow, that gives you an opportunity to catch up on the things that may have been put off during the busy times. So like I said, October was gangbusters. All summer was pretty busy. October was the busiest month of the year so far. And now that in November, it's so far this is only first week of November, work has slowed down a little bit, and it's given me an opportunity to pick up the things that I need to catch up on. Videos, right? The YouTube channel, getting my marketing set up for distribution for the next couple of weeks, and maintenance. My one truck is due for standard engine service, right? Changing out the fluids, changing out the air filter, etc., etc. So that's going to get scheduled. My other truck, which is a big long story on that one, I have touched on some of the details in previous videos. I won't rehash them here, but it's given me an opportunity to finally get that truck very close to completion. I've had that truck for almost a year now. Haven't really been able to put it in service for various reasons. There's a whole daisy chain of events. But right now I got the last, hopefully the last mechanical issue taken care of, and almost done with the body modifications that I want to have done before putting it in to get painted and branded with JUNK180 colors and logos. Finally. Been a long road on that thing. So I'm going to show you some pictures that I have of that truck before I started modifying it. So let's take a look at what has been occupying my free time now that slowed down a little bit. So this is the 2012 Isuzu. Mentioned this thing many times in many videos. It's been a headache and hassle the entire time I've owned it. Won't rehash many of those details. I just want to show you what I've been working on the past couple weeks. So here's the first thing. This is in the back, obviously. This is a cubby that I built for the ramp. This truck did not come with the cubby, any ramp storage, so I had to build it. This is inspired by a Junk King style. My other truck is an old Junk King truck. They have a cubby inside that houses the ramp. It works very well, so I took a cue from them. Another modification I did was splitting one of the rear doors, specifically the door that closes last. Okay, so this came as one solid door. I cut it in half, welded some angle on here. That's very helpful when you start getting towards the back of the truck. Come up here to the ladders. There's one behind the passenger side, one behind the driver's side. Now I had asked for them to give me a ladder but behind both sides of the cab, and what they did was they took 1/2-inch round bar and just welded straight across. This is not even 1.5 inches in depth, so they were absolutely useless. They were a total slipping hazard, no room for a toe hold. So I cut those off, ground them down, and welded these up. These are very, very stable, very sturdy. They work very well. And then take a look at the sides. All right, the dealership was supposed to give me flat sides. They did not. They're all the way out in New York, so there's nothing I could really do about it. I took delivery. I'm in California. It's about $4,000 to ship one way. So it's not like I could just bring it back down to the dealership and have them do what they were supposed to do. So this side is getting close to completion. We just got some, I mean, they're not tack welds, they're welds, but need to seal weld all the way around to prevent water intrusion from getting in behind here and creating a rusting problem. So go around to the other side, which is still being worked on. And you can kind of see how I did that. So up here at the top, we used clamps every 6 inches or so, weld, move the clamps over. So it's a nice flat seam up here at the top. Then this is all loose even now. So we drilled all these holes 6 inches apart. And what we do is take a 2x4, clamp on the top, clamp at the bottom. That way there's no bubble. And then weld these up. The stiffeners are right behind here. Then we'll move over to the next row, do the same thing. Move over to the next row, do the same thing. The other thing I added was this ladder on the back. Again, inspired by the Junk King body, and works really well. Originally, when I got this truck, it was very difficult to get anything up over the top. You know, I'm 6'3". You can see where my hand is. So these ladders help tremendously. And the other thing that you can't see, because both panels have already been put up, is, you know, originally the stiffener right here was the one that was closest to center of the box, right? So when we went to go put the tarp arms on, we didn't have any choice but to have it off center. Actual center is somewhere about here. So what we did was we put in a couple cross members behind here, welded in. So now when I bolt it back up, those pivot points will be dead center, and it'll hit in the front and hit in the back where it's supposed to be. Professional appearance, right? The other way worked, but when it was mounted to the stiffener, it would hit right about here when the tarp was open, which you know, may not be such a big deal, but it's less than a professional appearance. We go through the extra effort to be professional. Once those fabrications are complete, then this truck will go in for paint. Right here, that's the color we're looking at. This will go in for paint. After paint, branding, logos, big JUNK180 all the way down the side. And then once this truck is out of the shop, that's all complete. Then it's time to put this one in, get the same treatment done. The goal is to have both these trucks painted and branded by the end of the year. It is currently early November, so I'm gonna get to it. I got a little time today to do some more welding, so that's what I'm gonna be doing. So as you can see, there's been a lot of work done to that truck. And yes, I could have put it in a shop and had all that work done. And in the future, that's probably exactly what I will do. But the scale of the business has allowed me to perform this work essentially myself with some helping hands. If the business was scaled a little larger, the downtime on that truck, it would not have made sense to take the amount of time that I had to take to get it to the point where it is now. It would have been more cost effective to pay a couple $1,000s to have a shop do it, and then get that quicker turnaround on it and get it back on the road. If a truck's not on the road, it's not earning money. If it's not earning money, it's costing you money. That truck specifically is financed, so that truck just sitting, including insurance, is about $1,000 a month just sitting there doing nothing. Very anxious to get that deal on the road. And All right, so that's point 2. Take the opportunity to perform maintenance on your equipment, get your modifications done, and any repairs you may have been putting off, do it now. Then point 3 is decide whether or not the slowdown in your business is necessary. You know, a lot of people have a tendency to, you know, if you don't have as much money coming in, you're retracting on your advertising, you're not putting yourself out there as much, and you're trying to cut costs by cutting your ad spend. And I'm not going to say that's not the right move for some people in certain scenarios, but you should really consider whether or not you need to ramp that up and get more of the business that is still there. That's what we're doing. I've increased my ad budget by about 25%. Saw an increase in work coming in. Also started 2 other avenues of lead generation that I have not been utilizing, and you know, not a whole lot of work coming from those just yet, but some. Even 1 or 2 extra jobs a week can be an extra $4,000 or $5,000 a month or more. So that's significant. It's worth spending $400 or $500 to get even $1,000 back. Even if you break even on it, at least your truck is still on the road. You guys are still getting hours, and you're being seen. You're being seen as a company that is still busy during a slow time, and some clients are going to take that as a indication of the level of your business and how professional your business is. So that's all I wanted to say for this video. Quick, simple, to the point. Unlike a lot of the videos where I kind of ramble on, repeat myself, it's always off the cuff what I come up with. So I'll just sign off. James Swank, JUNK180, 707-536-0740. Check us out online at JUNK180.com. We serve all of Solano County, all of Contra Costa County, and parts of Sonoma, Marin, Napa, Alameda, and San Francisco counties. Until next time, see ya. Get your equipment up to par. Get ready for the next job. Be ready when business picks back up. Take care of your guys so that they are still there for when business picks back up. Keep them happy. All right, everybody. Later.